Hey all, and this is the final lap event. This is a Light Slayer event and Arcane Killer. So I have my general Water Slayer team that I use for most events. A Light Slayer team, this isn't really very good. It might be useful for the Radiant multi-boss though. Then my Light Commander team, which is doing surprising damage. I have managed to hit for 200 with this, so it's not a bad option at all. Let's start with the Water Slayer team. I know most of you have seen this deck before, but I will talk through it again. Holiday Saints, this has a 500% damage buff, and that goes on any water card. Metaverse Masters, this has a 150% damage buff, and that's for any card. Sovereigns of the Dance, this converts all non-water gems to water, also upgrades, and has a nice self-damage increase. Hometown Heroes, this has a decent damage increase to Water Slayer cards. Then finally, High Performance Unit Area, this is used to get the supercharged buff up. You get Immortal Killer attack plus 2500%. Then that boosts up Sovereigns of the Dance even further. A good team, but I do overuse it since I don't really play Slayer that much. Onto the relics. I believe there's 2 arcane relics on the team to make sure I break all of the shields. Here's the first one. This is just one of my better Water Slayer relics. Then here's the other arcane relic to break the rest of the shields. Cater's Bow is useful. It has a slight percentage increase to attack. You can see here. And then finally another general Water Slayer relic. So there we go, that's that team. And then this team here, it's not really effective. It's useful for maybe taking one level of a Radiant multi-boss. If you have a look at my Arcane Killer Light Slayer cards, I only have the 2 ultimate forms, so I'm very limited for what I can use here. Since that doesn't really do any damage, I think it's best to move on to the Light Commander team. This is probably my best team for this event. Does a maximum of 200 with a battle boost attack. So that's pretty good actually, I think. This team has Curators of Legend with a nice Light Commander damage increase of 225%. Then Divine Sovereigns with that 500% boost to one card, used to boost up some of their siblings. This also increases self-damage. It has that Cleanse and Dispel one enemy buff skill as well. Breakers of the Cycle, a nice increase to Light Commander damage, 255%. Then finally Nick, Master of Blades, 225% increase to Light Commander damage, plus creates a few power gems as well. Useful for getting loose power gems away from the main match, if used as the last card. Right, and then for the relics, there's 2 arcane relics on the team, then 3 of my best Light Commander relics. Here's the first one, a 4 pink star relic. That's useful to have on the team. My next one here, this is an immortal relic. Actually 4 pink stars as well, surprisingly. This is one of the arcane relics. Then the 4th one here, just an immortal relic. Then finally at the end, another arcane relic. Alright, and that's the teams I have available for this event. It won't be an event I spend much time on. As long as I stay in Emperors, that's good enough for me. Right, let's do some team testing. Here we go. So here's the actual event. It's just an ordinary event with the exception of this ultimate Warden Vault. Before I start killing bosses, I might as well see what I get. The pack for this, though, is extremely expensive, so I only ever use the free token. There we go. What is it going to give me? Probably nothing of interest. Well, not on its own. Oh, it's not even a pink Star Warden. It's just 6 regular stars plus a soul. So, yeah, that's Not something I'm going to get too excited about. The Warden itself, Duskwing, has a weakened defender skill, so that's okay. I'm not sure if you can upgrade these special Wardens though. So let's just continue. Right. If we go back to the event, there's a couple of bosses up that could be useful for assessing the damage of my teams. I'm going to hit it with 3 keys, even though I can easily defeat it with 1, just because I want to see the damage with this team. The boss does have countdown as well. I think Iria gets rid of that, so that shouldn't be a problem with a team like this. Right, so first turn, do anything. Or maybe not actually. Use Metaverse Masters, I think, is a better idea than just doing anything. Then that gets the Dark Gems for Iria. Then it doesn't really matter what I match. Second turn, use Iria. I'm pretty sure this removes countdown. I'm sure I'll find out in a minute though. For sure. Right, so something like that. Then just go left to right. And then hopefully the middle card will hit for 80Q. Let's go with that and see if I'm right or not. Hopefully I will have quite a few gems loose from the main match. That's pretty much optimal. And then that's a decent grid. There's 3 that's going to be loose. So just match the highest value power gems. This should be a good hit. There we go. 136Q. Nice. So let's see what my Light Commander team can do in comparison. So this will be the team I use for anything that's not my own, since it can be used on the very first turn. This time around the boss has Regan, which shouldn't really do anything, so let's go ahead and try this anyway. As with the previous team, I want as many power gems loose from the main match as possible, as that will really rack up the damage. The last grid was really good actually. Don't normally get a grid that good. Now, I don't know what this is going to do. Let's see. There's one at the top and one at the bottom that's loose. So this should actually be decent damage as well. Let's see though. How does this compare to my Water Slayer team? 111.2. So I would say both teams do about the same amount of damage, if I'm being honest. If there was one more loose power gem on the Light Commander team, then that would have done about the same amount of damage as the Water Slayer team. So that's pretty helpful actually. I can use either team for the event. I will stick with the Light Commander team, I think, though. I don't really have any other teams to test out here. So let's scroll up and start claiming the event collection. I don't know why they keep giving us these useless Legend Souls. Who even uses these? It's just absolute garbage. I think it's some sort of joke from the developers at this point. Anyway, let's go and claim all of this. Doesn't take long to complete this. You only really need to kill 1 umbral or tag 4 umbrals that have been rallied. Doesn't take long at all. There's the junk anyway. Right, that's that done. Let's see what it is this time around. If I stay silver in Emperors, that will be good enough for me. I doubt I will, though. Probably drop down to bronze. Doesn't really matter, though. I'm not playing competitively anymore. I gave that up a very long time ago. Now, this looks actually pretty decent. It's Immortal Killer and an improved Dragoon. The battle skill currently isn't exactly exciting, but when you specialise that, it could be really good. So, maybe a Dragoon to really fight for if you want to play this event competitively. It won't be for me though, I'll just take the lower value free copies. But that's what it is anyway. Right, and let's finish off by having a look at the event deck. Let's get that essence first. Then I'll go ahead and craft the random hero. Don't know what I'll get yet. Doesn't look like there's anything too exciting out of the options. There never is here. Here we go. Now that, I think, is the main hero from the event. It's trying to tempt me to make the deck, isn't it? I really want the Fire Commander deck, though. This will not help me much at all, despite it being a really good deck. And on that note, let's have a look at the actual deck itself. Top Speed Terrors. Increases Light Slayer damage by 315%. That's not for one card, that's for all cards. So this could well be the best deck in the season by an absolute mile. Plus it has that passive that upgrades the power gems. Plus at the start of each turn creates 10 more power gems. So yeah, I think I'm going to put this as the best deck in the season. But if you are just going to get the one card, Wind Lord's Envy, this has the damage buff, making it the better out of the two cards by an absolute mile. And using this with the ultimate form is going to give a huge increase to damage. So that's definitely something to try if you did manage to get the deck. Even better if you can get multiple copies of this. Then use some sort of Light Slayer hitting card. You should easily hit the big Q damage. Anyway, I'm going to end the video at this point. I think I've covered pretty much everything. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did enjoy it, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing is always very much appreciated. If you do have any questions or suggestions regarding this video, please do also let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to help. You can see the previous event video on the screen from last week, plus a playlist. Plus you can also subscribe from here if you want to do so. And thanks for watching.